So you were at SpaceX when there was only 30 employees?
Yeah, 35, somewhere around 35.
Wow.
Engine cut off. We're going to separate the stages and begin the second stage ignition.
How was that?
It was fun. You know, I think when you're in the middle of these things, you don't really understand the gravity of it or the implications of it.
Google is turning to nuclear energy to keep up with the demands of artificial intelligence.
I've been talking to a lot of innovators, a lot of tech innovators. They're all talking about how much energy that we need in the race to AI.
To purchase electricity from 7 small modular nuclear reactors, which still need to be built.
If you just project out AI demand, it's going to be equal to our grid by 2030. It's just this exponential growth curve, equivalent to the US grid today in 5 years, potentially.
That's crazy.
The EPA has reportedly drafted a plan to eliminate all limits on greenhouse gas emissions from power plants. That's according to documents recently obtained by the New York Times.
Being involved in nuclear energy, I'm just fascinated in the subject, and so, yeah, thank you for coming.
We need to go full speed on reactor licensing, construction, deployment, and all those reactors need fuel.
What happens if we don't advance and AI sucks up that much energy, but in 5 years? How much, when you're talking about a poppy seed, and that's like nothing. How much energy does that produce?
So a pellet roughly an inch tall of conventional enriched uranium. That one pellet, which roughly like Coke can dimensions, just shrunk down to 1 inch tall, would contain as much energy as a ton of coal or 100 barrels of oil.
Wow, so one little 1 inch pellet is equivalent to a ton of coal or 100 barrels of oil.
Yep.
Now, with the rise of AI technology, demand on power plants is increasing, in large part to AI's reliance on data centers.
Will you be doing the AI plants? Because we have a lot of them going up now, or soon going up, and they need tremendous electricity. Are you going to be involved in many of these plants?
Yes. Not something people really wake up one morning and say, I want to do enrichment of uranium. It's pretty esoteric industry.
Will a lot of them be using nuclear, or some are using oil and gas, some are using different things? But
many of them will be, I think.
it just makes a lot of sense.
Nuclear is a perfect solution, and that's where most of them are interested.
Starting a couple years ago, the common refrain from every nuclear reactor company was, we don't have a source of fuel. We need this more enriched fuel, enriched to 20%, because we want to make our smaller reactors. We want to make them in factories. We want to get really low on cost, high quality, low cost, the whole Six Sigma manufacturing strategy. But let's use those concepts and apply them to nuclear reactors. Instead of treating every single one as a bespoke, one-off construction project, we're going to factory produce these. So that's pretty much everyone's vision.
Thanks for joining us. How would you describe the environmental impact of these data centers that are at the heart of AI?
Their environmental impact is huge, and it's growing.
Indeed. Go ahead, please.
And I'm Scott Nolan, CEO of General Matter. We're an American enrichment company trying to bring back the U.S.'s lead in producing nuclear fuel. Right now, the U.S. is completely dependent on other countries. And these executive orders are going to pave the way for the U.S. to regain its lead. So we really appreciate it.
They said to pull that off, you've got to make it smaller. You can't build a huge thing, a thing the size of larger than a factory in a factory. You've got to make small things. And so if we're going to make the reactor small, we need more energy dense fuel.
How small are they making these reactors?
So one company that Founders Fund invested in makes a reactor that fits in a shipping container. But our nuclear energy is going to be so cheap, we can afford to do the carbon capture, or we'll co-locate with some industrial process, we'll grab that carbon, and we're going to turn that into a fuel, and that fuel could be used by cars, by airplanes.
What do you mean carbon capture? You mean pulling carbon out of the air?
Yeah, there's a couple approaches. One is pull it out of the air. People are working on technologies for that.